That looks pretty good. I'm gonna bring her down. Bringing her down. All right, excellent. Oh, Lordy. So I am missing the fuzzy thing to my wireless microphones. So let's see if I can find it while I'm wandering around. There we go. All right, so I got the, what am I doing today? I've got some bulk substrate. I'm gonna move a bag of colonized ryegrain berries, Reishi, into that. So I've got six bulk substrate bags. I've got I just got this in the mail. I think this is the scale. So that's pretty slick. This might be a little bit more than I want to bite off, more than I could chew right now. I'll put that to the side. That's an option. I've got lion's mane in the tent. That's doing pretty well. I solved the CO2 issue. It's got reishi growing. Got some pinning reishi. Right? And yeah, like I said, I solved the CO2 problem. I think that was the biggest hurdle. But yeah, I'll fire up the laminar flow hood. I'll bring out the ryegrain, the bulk substrate. I got some reishi colonized, ready to go. I don't know, I busted out this popsicle. It was just sitting here. I was running around like a maniac for the fuzzy thing for my microphones that I cannot locate. I'll turn on the light system. It's already on. Excellent. Let me wash my hands just to be good. I got some lion's mane that's going pretty well in here. Let me pull those out real fast. Celebrate a win. It's growing some teeth here. Not complete victory. I almost see a little bit of yellowing there. That might be a little bit of drying, but yeah. So I got some lion's mane. Definitely looked a lot better than before. So I solved the CO2 issue, right? I've got an exhaust fan coming out the bottom here, and 30 minutes every 4 hours, for 30 minutes every 4 hours, that thing fires up and it just vacates the bottom. Here, I'll show you the reishi. This is exciting. This is the first time I've ever grown reishi mushrooms. All right, so now check out, so you can see the pinning there in the back, right, against the wall. So that's a reishi. Okay, so it's definitely got, so very exciting. I'll be moving a bag of colonized ryegrain berries of reishi into bulk substrate here in a bit. That is one of the more thrilling things. I've got some blue oyster in here. I'm not seeing any growth yet. So hopefully, you know what I need to do is get a calendar. Oh, that light puts off some heat. So that's a pretty low. It got down to 77%. Let me check if this fan's on. All right, no, I just had the window open. So it's dropping like a rock and a stone. All right, so, all right, that's going. Here, I'll bring out some substrate. I was eyeing one in here. Let me see where it is. Oh boy, that one looks pretty good too. Well, I'll break and shake this guy here. So this is blue oyster growing on rye grain berries. And I will, gosh, that burns the hands. I was out fishing and there's like these tiny micro cuts from the salmon. So obviously like it hasn't fully colonized, but I'm just gonna break and shake here. It always feels counterproductive, but it, especially, so this is blue oyster mushroom. Within 2 days, it'll have reclaimed everything. This just helps it kind of finalize the colonization process. I took Wednesday off from work, so what's today? Monday? Yeah, so I will, I'll get some more substrate going tomorrow. Sterilize it. Yeah, so nothing too fancy, but a couple days, that'll be good. So I'll put this back in the incubation chamber. La-di-da. Got a couple of bulk substrates. Where I'm looking for that Reishi that I had. Probably the one down. We go down to the bottom. So I got 2 incubation chambers going. So this is the one I think I was thinking about moving over. It's just ready to go, I think. I did not break and shake it, but it's a fairly modest amount of rye grain berries. So I'm thinking I'll take this guy, and this was the 13th of June. Oh, so 17, 23 days, no break and shake. That seems about reasonable. That's a small bag, but this will make six more bags of Reishi. I'm gonna make tinctures. So I'm gonna harvest the Reishi, and then I'm gonna make little tinctures. So that'll be where it goes. Homemade tinctures. I'm excited about the blue oyster mushrooms. I think those will be kind of fun. I'll pull out, so there's a couple of, oh man, there's some monsters in here. So I'm not too consistent with the size of the bag. So we got blue oyster mushroom, 30th of June. I'm really proud of myself for labeling the bags. I would say this is maybe 70% colonized, so I am going to do another break and shake. I got more of this than I need. I'm drowning in success stories now. Everything is falling apart for a second. But it's working. It's working. The Reishi's working. The lion's mane is back. I had some weird fruits when I had the carbon dioxide. Boy, that humidity is just not getting as high as I want it to. I wonder what the deal is. I'll keep an eye on it. It's going up. So, all right. Yeah, the one modification, I cranked up the humidity. I got it set to 93.5. Cranked it up good. And then I had I'm just waiting for somebody to rescue me from my garage. And then we got, what? Okay, well, don't do that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the CO2. The CO2 is collecting in the bottom heavily. There was an aroma. Oh, see, what are you? I don't like you. All right. 10-minute timeout. Never done that before. Okay. Okay, what was I talking about? Again, CO2 collecting on the bottom of the thing. I was getting strange what are you doing? Yes, I'm cultivating oyster mushrooms. I'm cultivating Reishi. Gosh, I've never had to be so engaged with the texting here. Oh, here, this guy. What is he? I'll put you on timeout. This is ridiculous. All right. Oh, cool. Amsterdam. I have a similar climate to Amsterdam. I'm in Sitka, Alaska. No hummus, oyster mushrooms, lion's mane, reishi. I'm going to make tinctures out of reishi. Lion's mane is going pretty good. I'll bring out my lion's mane. I'll show you what I got. It's still a little funky. I just got over the recovery. There we go. So I'm up at 80. That's not ideal, but and I'm going to open this thing again. So there's the humidity. It's coming in. I don't know what I'm complaining about. I keep opening it. I got a light going on in there. Okay. Oh, Ben Allen's. Okay, so check this out. This is the lion's mane. Right? It's got some teeth there. Looking pretty good. A little bit of a bald spot, but I think that was just kind of an overgrowth. Yeah, the big obstacles are oh, he's fine. Okay. Well, yes, the big obstacles, it's drying out, and then the CO2. The CO2, it took a whole nother. Oh, it's got a pretty mild taste, but it doesn't taste like a mushroom at all. It doesn't taste mushroomy, right? The texture has a bounce to it almost. It's almost got a little bit of a kind of a rubbery texture. Not too much though, you know. So this guy's a little weird. This one's yellowing a little bit, so I should probably even harvest this, right? This guy's kind of ready to go. I should have brought a bag out. And this bag was all jacked up for a while, so I had to, I mean, a lot of these, the CO2 thing really was bad. And here, I'll show you the reishi if anyone's coming in. Sorry, mushrooms. Live action here. So we got some reishi in the back there, right? Kind of tucked in under the plastic, which concerns me because that means it's maybe looking for humidity. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some reishi growth. So it'll take its sweet time. I'm going to make tinctures out of it. Really thrilled. The mycelium is dense. Like, this feels like a rock. So reishi has some of the most beautiful mycelium. La-di-da. Well, I could, what was I going to move? So I'm going to move that reishi. I'm going to move this mycelium. I'm going to move this colonized bag of rye grain berries into some bulk substrate. I'm working on selling them at the co-op. So that's the goal. I haven't gotten consistent enough, but we're almost there. So in due course, in due course. I've been planning this for years, but I finally got a garage to operate in. And then I had a bunch of stuff out here. So then I finally got that out. So let's move around. I got my lollipop I'm going to put this in the freezer. So the garage is taking shape. Filled the freezer with some salmon. Yesterday we went to read out. We did some dip netting. I feel very hunter-gatherer. Fish in and mushroom in here. So, all right, so we'll move some reishi over. Let's get some gloves. I'll move this in here. Oh, I will, so I just got a pressure seam sterilizer over here. Oh, gosh. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna need the hammer. And, yep, I'm gonna need the mallet. If I don't vacate the last bit of air, it gets quite the seal here. So this is the mallet. Okay. Find this, I'm getting this. All right, so this is the bulk substrate. Let me locate my gloves. And I will be moving the rye grain over. We'll crank up the flow hood here. Apologize if there's a wind noise. I couldn't find the fuzzy thing for my doodad. All right, a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the hands. All right, feeling the spirit. Bulk substrate right here. Yes, I've got I'm just going to move. We'll do 3 at a time. Let's not get greedy. So, holy moly. Yeah, long day. Feeling good about it though, feeling good about it. Once I got the CO2 issue, you know, I think the benefit would be if I could pull a little bit less air, or maybe only have it for 15 minutes every 4 hours, just to flush the bottom out. So the CO2 drops down, so does the humidity. And so that's kind of an obstacle. If I need to get the CO2 out, then I'm also vacating. They call the reishi something like the mushroom of the gods. So I'm looking forward to that. Tincture making process. That should be pretty good. Lion's mane. Doing better. Blue oyster has yet to pop out, but I think I just put them in, so I get fairly, let that thing air dry a little bit. Get fairly impatient with the mushrooms. Close my incubation chamber here. So I got 2 of these going. I don't know how I'm gonna go on vacation, ever. Workflow's looking good. I would say I don't need as many rye grain berries. Mods. Okay, well, national treasure. Yeah, so I will try to mod. I'll try to mod myself. Okay, thank you. Well, try to moisturize. So, what was I talking about? Oh, I don't need as many rye grain berries. No vacation for mushroom farmers. Yes, I'm starting to see that. So, yeah, I'll just have to plan stuff out. I need a giant calendar and stuff like that. So the latest project, so I did commit to going down south with a buddy of mine. And so I thought, well, I was like, well, why the hell not? So I looked up some mushroom farms in the area. And I was like, so I shot him an email. And I said, I'm coming down for like a day in September. And do you think I could like come by and make some like video content? And then they got back to me. They're like, yeah, totally. And so now I'm gonna do like, so I'm thinking if I go on vacation, I'll just do some sort of like mushroom farm tour and that'll make me feel like I'm not just throwing money away. If I can come away with some content. All right. So this is Master's Mix. Not ideal for Reishi in theory. Although those are fruiting just fine. So this is still kind of experimental. The mushroom farmers that I talked to on the platform, they recommend more of a wood substrate. So they recommend more of a wood substrate. Soy hulls, I'm getting them from a company. Are you talking about soy hulls? Are you talking about the Master's Mix ingredients? A lot of nitrogen. So the one concern was that it would colonize slowly, maybe expose it to contamination too much, or that the fruiting will be a little leggy, that it won't have the caps. All right. My channel has become some sort of corrupted thing. All right. Oh, well, I should break it up first. Let's see what we're dealing with. I did not break and shake this originally. Again, Reishi mycelium's really some hardy stuff. Corruption, yep. That's what you are. Yeah, see, that's a little much. Anyways, so never really works out like exactly how I want it. The ideal would be that I get kind of like walnut nugs that I'm putting in here. In the past, I've been loading them up. And we don't need as much. I don't need as many colonized rye grain berries going in. All right, let's rock and roll. Da-da-da-da-da-da, got my laminar going. So I will just give this a little bit of a pour here. Try not to touch the inside too much, but what can you do? Not wearing a mask. All right, you know what? Let's try not to breathe on it. Gosh. You know what? And that's fine, that's plenty. I'm gonna dial this puppy in about a 5.5, pretty good. Maybe a 6. And the impulse heat sealer. Oh, held it a little too long. A crisp, lovely seal. Nothing more, nothing less. Cool, excellent. These are 5-pound bags. Like I said, I got a new scale. I'll probably set that up a little later if you're interested in that. Nope, not poisonous. In fact, so Alaska has some pretty lenient laws on specialty crops now, especially mushroom. I can sell it. Oh, shnikes. Okay. Pretty much anywhere now. Oh, I didn't want that piece going in. I'm going to take it out. This is kind of going against all. That was just a little bit too much colonization there. That was all just a flappy piece of mycelium. Da, da, da. Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, I've got the rotation going down. I've got a pretty good system. Some new people in here. Let me show you my Reishi. Let me brag. Well, hold on. Let me put this in front of the laminar. It's the only thing about live feeds. Let me show you what I got going on here. I'll bring out the lion's mane too. He pulled through the CO2 chapter, as it will become to be known, right? So I got lion's mane over here, okay? And then if you look in the back there, you see the Reishi? Reishi's coming out? Excellent. So I'm gonna make tinctures out of this. I'll eat this. Exciting stuff. Blue oyster has yet to make an appearance. I forgot when I put it in here. I'm not worried yet. Let's look at these other guys. This Reishi almost has kind of a light green hue. Okay? All right, look back there. So the tinctures will have a lot more licensing and regulatory because it's like processed. But if I sell raw mushrooms, people can make their own tinctures. I'll be making a video on that. But if I sell raw mushrooms, I can. There's in Alaska now. There's virtually. Oh man, that's my alert. Yeah, it's just the 8 o'clock thing. So I got to turn that off. We were using a lot of electricity, so every day at 8 I would record our electrical consumption, and then I would run around the house and turn on or off various things. Anyways, we figured out that. Okay. No, in Alaska though, House Bill 251 was passed last year, and they tore it up. All the regulations are taken down. All the inspection requirements are gone. It's the Wild West, man. If people will buy it, I can sell it to them. Pretty much. Restaurants, there's a surcharge. Sitka, Alaska where I live is the most expensive town, I think, in America. Although people who live in the villages may have an argument to be made. Okay, I got 3 more to do with that. See, even that might be more than I need. The other rule is label and date everything. And don't just say it. Do it immediately. Reishi. July 7th. So, all right, yeah, I'm getting good humidity. I just needed to give it some time. So I'm up to 86.3. It'll get up to about 93.5. If it gets above like 96, it'll the top exhaust will go off. Otherwise, for 30 minutes, every 4 hours, the bottom exhaust goes off, vacates the CO2, and yes, this is bulk substrate. This is master's mix. All right. With colonized ryegrain berries. This is Reishi. Master's mix is not the most ideal bulk substrate, but it seems to be working pretty fine. If you recall, I gave you a show of the other thing. I'm going to get more here. I do 6 a pop here, 5 pounds a piece. Still working on kind of organizing the layout here. Come a long way. Come a long way. Built some platforms. I built a platform for the tent, and that rolls around. I built a platform for the DIY humidifier. And yeah, so I'm just kind of chipping away at projects. I go to work, I come home, I eat something, and then I go to the garage. This is my life. So I am a creature of the garage. Oh yeah. Put about a gallon. Put about a gallon of water in the DIY humidifier. Yeah, so I'm hoping this. I'm going to be taking Reishi tinctures forever. Yes, I've had contamination. My oyster mushroom bucket died. This is the laminar flow hood. This thing drives me crazy. There we go. Oh no. Look what you made me do. That's fine. So, I had a lot of mushroom statues up there. I've broken 2, moving stuff around. My mom sends them to me. This one I got in Washington, D.C. I got this at the Indigenous Museum. More quality context. This stuff is actually interesting. All right. Yes. I got 800 subscribers today. That was kind of a highlight of that was kind of exciting. It's been quite the haul. Like I said, I'd like to do a long form on making tinctures. I'd like to start doing, if I travel at all, I'd like to start doing tours of local mushroom farms in wherever the area I'm in. So yeah, I got some ideas floating around in my head. That's plenty. That's plenty. No, life is good. I think I'm just a garage dweller. It is summer in Alaska. We had a really good 4th of July. It was really nice out. We're back to rain. I do live in a rainforest. And I'm okay with that. I like the rain. Yeah, so they go for a premium up here. Go for a premium. Almost all our vegetables have to be barged in from Seattle. So if we buy mushrooms, they're made down south and then barged up for a week or two before they even get to us. So pretty subpar just because of the lag. And like I said, after COVID, so the governor we got spooked with COVID. It was, they were going to shut down the barge. They were going to be like, well, we're just not going to send you any food. It's like, well, what? And so that was like a big deal. I am running out of this. Good for me. And so like I said, House Bill 251 was passed last August at the state fair, I believe. And as far as mushrooms are concerned, regulations are virtually non-existent. We are flying by the cuff here. Because we're like, hey, if you can grow it, grow it. And then, like, you know, if oyster mushrooms go bad, it's not like, they'll taste bad, but you're not going to get like food poisoning. But if I start making tinctures, there's a shop in town. It's one of those hypothecary places, and they make stuff. I bought a sleepy time licorice thing one time, but they look kind of boarded up though recently. Yep. Glad to hear it. Glad you're with us. Oh, hey. No, I appreciate all you. I think you, I'm meeting some interesting people through YouTube, and that has been a blessing. Most of the time. All right, let me get this. Dump that puppy in right on. Excellent. I need a trash can right here. Whatever. Ta-da, ta-da. Yeah, so the bucket I had contamination. I had another bag that got contaminated. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with you know, the failures. The failures are the CO2. I was not getting a lot of fresh air exchange. First warning there, it was starting to get funky in the tent. I didn't want to admit it, but it was getting a little, yeah, I grew up in Wisconsin. It was getting a little musty, and I thought, so I was taking all the bags out, and I was sniffing them, I was sniffing everything, and it's a little wet here, I gotta wipe this up. And that wasn't it, and so then I took hydrogen peroxide, and I was wiping out the tent, and that got better, but I needed another fan to move the air out, specifically at the bottom where the CO2 was collecting. And so now, so I've got it 30 minutes every 4 hours. I might even drop it down to like 30 minutes every 8 hours and just say, 3 times a day, just flush it with CO2. And then, because now I'm a little bit leaning towards humidity, but we're golden now, 93.9. Beautiful. The Reishi is loving it in there. Loving it. So I'll put this all aside. I'm running out of space. I've kind of been like bumbling forward. And here, what was I going to do? I'm going to wipe the table. Yes, a lot of bumbling, but let's see. This kind of put a little bit of... because it's such a process, you kind of have it, the mushrooms growing at every stage, and you think, oh, you just do it once, see if it works, but if it fails, a next batch could be a month away if you got to go through all the phases again. So try not to huff this. So it's nice. I'm rolling. I am rolling. Really hoping the Reishi works out. Let's see if I got any bags that are fully colonized that we can move into the tent. So like this guy, okay, no label, nothing. So that's a fail for me. That feels like Reishi. Okay, that's blue oyster, that's not. I'll break and shake this. So this is another monster bag of rye grain berries being colonized by blue oyster mycelium on 630. So I'm gonna break this up, break and shake. And again, this is more rye grain than I need. And so this is an area I can probably save a lot of money. It's the bulk substrate that I'm ready to start, like get pallets. Boy, so close, so close. Okay, put this puppy back. So it almost looks like you go back in time, right? But within 3 days, this is going to be a solid block of mycelium. So the break and shake is always. Let's move around here. What other break and shakes I got going on? Here's a Reishi. So I don't normally break and shake the Reishi, but let's give it a whirl here and see how it works out. And the reason being is that the mycelium is so hardy. So let's do it just for an experiment. And see how well it recovers. Try not to be Don't want to be mean, but so this is rye grain berries that were colonized by Reishi, and I just did a break and shake, and I'm going to watch it recover so it can more evenly colonize. Yes. Well, happy birthday. Your friends forgot. I don't know if anyone even knows when my I don't even celebrate my birthday. I will recognize that it's happening. So, boy, I thought I had, let's see, what's this guy? All right, so this is kind of a heartbreaker, right? So it's really colonized up top. Again, no label, no date, but it's very uncolonized on the bottom. You know, part of me says I'm going to move this into the fruiting chamber because what's going to happen is that it's going to start growing towards the filter patch. Oh. Okay. Oh, I thought you had to pack something else. This is Master's Mix Substrate with a mystery mushroom inside because I didn't label it. I've had a couple of those. So, what, you know, how am I gonna do this? So I'm gonna probably vacate the area here, the air out of this puppy. You know, I don't even know if that seals that great. So we're gonna really lock that down. And then I'm gonna just make some slits here, open it up, see what comes out, right? Vacuum seal, no vacuum seal. This is a impulse heat sealer. I have a vacuum sealer for my fish, but yeah, it would be impossible. There's a filter patch. You'd be sucking on, you might as well just be, you'd get no suction. So, the same deal with this guy. Right? And so the importance of consistently with the bag is that you can fold it under well. Yeah, I'll make little slits on those. And let's see what else I got. Ultimately, I kind of do need to like clear up some space in this. This might be another break and shake right here. This is lion's mane, 613. Wow, this guy's been in there for a while. So we will break and shake 613. So it's like 3 weeks. All right, so he took his sweet time, but da-da-da-da. Okay. Now I'm back in there. Okay. Glad I'm forming strange communities. Strange communities. I'm taking Wednesday off, so I will be doing stuff on Wednesday. Got to paint too. Not that that's the biggest priority. Here, let me show you my lion's mane. If anyone hasn't seen my lion's mane, if you had seen some of the early stuff, you'd be pleased that it's working out, right? Let's see if I can get a good teeth shot. You know what I mean? So this is, I'm gonna harvest this like probably tomorrow. It's getting a little yellow in the middle there. But I think it did get shocked a little bit. Like nobody walked out of this one unscathed. This one is not doing as well, right? No teeth formation really. Kind of did the whole, yeah, so I think it dried out. I think this one took a shock. I'll give it another day and see if it wants to get better, but it's looking kind of like a, what did I say earlier? I was thinking it looked like Darth Vader's face here, and then I'll bring this out for you guys. Super excited about the Reishi here. You can see him in the back, huh? Coming to say hello. I got that distinct, oh, look at that guy. So the only thing was with them, but even I'm seeing some growth there, some pinning. You know, with them sticking so close to the edge of the bag. And then this one's even got kind of a light, like neon color to it. Right? Kind of wild. Yeah, so I'm hoping for that glossy, lacquery. All right, break time. I gotta look to it. Whew. All right, time out for a second. Yeah, so the CO2 debacle. I got a scale for the bags. Oh. Humidity's pretty much dialed in. I've been opening it up so it went down. But I'm looking at somewhere between 86, 87% to well, it's break time. I'm done with my project. So 86, 87%. Now you got me self-conscious. To about 95. Before the air gets vacated out the top. So, and then like I said, that lower exhaust has been vital for the CO2 to get out of there. What did we just do? Well, we took colonized rye grain berries with Reishi and we put it into 6 bags of Master's Mix bulk substrate. I've got 2 incubation chambers going. Garage is looking pretty clean. Decluttered, little painting to do, little structuring. I might flip this whole thing again and have maybe the laminar flow hood point in the other direction. We're maintaining heat, right? Rain's back, but it's summer. The new DIY humidifier is rocking and rolling. Oh, well, technically I have yet to see any revenue. So that's the full disclosure right now. Like I said, the licensing and the regulations have been pretty much stripped away. Administratively, you know, obviously you have the, I mean, I have the Alaska business license. I've got the registered with the IRS. I've got a tax thing with the city of Sitka. I'd be able to sell to restaurants, food co-ops, mail. I'm not going to do any of that. If I sell it to grocery stores like C-Mart or Lakeside, it would not be allowed to be with the other vegetables unless there was a sign detailing that it was grown in an environment that was not held by certain types of like inspection requirements. Let's see what materials. You know, you got the rye grain berries, you got the master's mix substrate, bags, quite a bit. You pretty much have to own 2 of everything. So I've got another impulse heat sealer on its way. I just got I got another power cord for the CPU fan that's used on my DIY humidifier. So I got another ultrasonic humidifier just in case that breaks. So it's really, you kind of have to own 2 of everything. The incubation chambers, I have 2. I'm going to need probably 3 or 4. The laminar flow hood, I got a really nice one, but you can make your own. That would be a huge cost-saving venture. My tent is 3 foot by 4 foot. That's pretty small. That's pretty tiny for the output that we're going to go for. Essentially, I'm just trying to establish if I can make a sale to the co-op, if I can clarify and confirm that the demand is there, I'll be flying. I'm wondering what other materials. Scheduling, you know, I think that's workflow. That's probably the most tedious thing, because essentially, like, all right, so last night, God, what happened? You know, I had to work this morning. So last night, though, I had to rehydrate the master's mix pellets, measure those out, bag them up, put them into the pressure steam sterilizer, 15 psi for 90 minutes. It has to get to 15, right? So I just hang out here at like 11:30. Then I go to bed, it cools overnight, and then I come here today, get that out. I have previously done something similar to the rye grain berries, which have colonized, and then they go into the master's mix substrate. It goes back into the incubation chamber. So the workflow is there, and then even, so rye grain berries, I've been off and on for quite a while. I would say I've been stationed in the garage since February. So, stationed in the garage since February. And then, but the rye grain berries, you got to soak them, right? So you got to soak the rye grain berries with gypsum. And then the next night after that, or the next day, then you got to boil them, evaporate the surface temperature, bag them, put them in the pressure steam sterilizer, cook them let it cool. Then it's the next night. You pull them out, and then your you know, whatever you're using, if you got slants or little petri dishes to get to the thing. You know, if I can get to slants, that would be huge. The lab part of it is a little obnoxious. So it's like, all right, what is the origin? There is not. Or, you know, if you have slants, I've been doing a lot of petri dishes, but I'm going to convert a freezer into a refrigerator. And so that'll be pretty streamlined. I think rye grain berries, I don't need as many as I have been using. I think I have a lot of room for efficiency on rye grain berries. Master's Mix substrate, I could start buying pallets pretty soon. And, well, so what you would do is I would turn it down, and then I would have a sensor in the freezer that turns off the power when it, you know, once it gets, that's the idea. I've never converted a bulk freezer into a refrigerator before, but so I live in a rainforest. So it's a naturally humid environment. So I have a dehumidifier in the garage, but a humidifier hitting the tent. So I'm really kind of playing this balancing game. I'll probably need a bigger tent. And let's see, let's see what other materials I got going on. So I got this in the mail today. This is the scale. So let's see what I got here. I don't really know. If I got the right thing here, let's hope. Made in China. Okay. And so I'm envisioning it kind of going up against the wall here, maybe next to the, I don't know if that's the best spot. See, it's a, you know, I've read a book that basically said that mushroom farms should operate in some sort of horseshoe formation, like a rectangle. And that makes sense to me. So, I kind of want to rip that off, but let's see. Boy, they just kind of threw everything in here. That's. All right, yeah, I got little legs. All right, little legs, little plug, little on-off, a tear. I don't know if this is designed to protect the material. It's like some obnoxious tape. Yeah, laser film. All right, yeah, it seems pretty straightforward. I think this is just a bracket for the thing here. Looks battery operated, but it also has a power cord. So that is, so okay, so this is battery operated. I think the scale. All right. I don't know if I really want to tinker too much here. But yeah, so this is the scale. So I'll have 5-pound bags consistently. And yeah, so I think yeah, the temperature, the free air exchange, the humidity levels. Really dialing in, you know, a vital piece was the, I got an Inkbird humidity controller, and that allows me to plug in the ultrasonic humidifier as well as the emergency exhaust fan, so it kind of gets a back and forth. Is that a 50 kilogram? Oh, I guess maybe. I don't think it was that big. Well, we'll see about that. I think it's right. Okay, lovely. So, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think like I said, it's the workflow. I'm in here every day. And I don't know how I'll go on vacation ever again. So, but I think I want to get it down. I'd like to start making some sales to the co-op by September. And I've got my parents' anniversary in January, so let's go do that. And then I go on a golf trip in April. But once I'm dialed in, scaling it isn't that difficult. It's once the workflow is, once the parameters are there, like I said, labeling, dating, having some sort of giant schedule on the wall, and then just kind of measuring things out. I'm paying a premium right now for materials. I think, what did I get down? I think I was paying like $1.50 for a pound of ryegrain berries, when it should be more like 50 cents. But I'm not buying a lot. Oh, cool, Vegas. Yeah, that's where I'm going to try to do a tour. So yeah, a buddy convinced me to go see a show of that giant ball thing. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent money on tickets to go do this. And then but that's when I emailed one of the farms down there, and I was like, would you please let me come and do some, like, make some videos of your like legit setup? And they were totally down. So, and I think this could be a new direction where if and when I travel, well, I couldn't read the whole thing, but yeah, maybe the oysters are, you think it's too high? It drops. I mean, we're at 90, yeah, we're at 93.9 now. Like I said, but I'm doing that 30-minute evac. Where it drops down pretty substantially, like 78, 79 for a little while. Yeah, it's just this real balancing act of making sure the CO2 gets out, keeping the humidity up, making sure that it's not back and forth where the humidity's turning on, turning off for the ultrasonic humidifier. No, I grew up in Wisconsin. Early adulthood was Colorado. I lived in Juneau for a while, and then I've been living in Sitka since 2017. Yep. Yeah, so I was Midwest, mountain, Did a little bit of West Coast. I went and moved. I lived in California for like a year and a half, which was a thing. A little bit of traveling. I'm done now, though. I'm getting older. I'm not. All I need is right here. And I got too much stuff anyways. If I had to move, oh my God. So, I think there's some people probably in town waiting to see if I fail at this, then they'll probably try to scavenge all my equipment. But that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. No, I am committed to the process. And just huge blessing with that House Bill 251. The fact, because I was thinking, I was like, I am not, there is no way I've got to like epoxy the floor. My gladiator rack up there might have to come down. I've got wood steps. I thought they're going to make me remove the wood steps. But yeah, all the regulations are gone. Basically, if you got, you know, it's tasty. So I am free to grow mushrooms and sell them to whoever wants to buy them, and that's it. The Reishi tincture thing, that'll be kind of fun. And then, yeah, I think there's a huge market here. There's a huge market here. People have already talked about it. It's like, we can't get good mushrooms in Sitka. I don't think they can get them in Juneau even. So I don't know why there's not more farms. But what time is it? 8:38. How long have I been doing this? 72 minutes. I got to 800 subscribers today. That was super exciting. So I was thrilled. Just tickled. And oh, here, let me put some slots in these things. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm tired. I went fishing. We went dip netting. Not on the 4th, but the next day. It was really nice. And then as soon as I got there, I said, Joe, I forgot bug dope. I don't have any bug spray. And then I turned around, he had this like giant net on. I was just like, dude. And he's like, I'm fine. I'm like, I know. So then I went to town. So I was killing it. I mean, every scoop, I was getting 3 fish a scoop, 3 salmon a scoop. This is the best part about living in Alaska. So there was like this waterfall coming down. And I come over the hill and there's this couple there. And there's fish everywhere. And they're like, we're almost done. They're like, it's happening. And so I saw them and they found this little spot, right? And so there's this waterfall. There's this gorgeous blue herring right there, just sitting. Oh, stunning. A lot of bears. Didn't see any bears, but so I don't know why I said there's a lot of bears. There are bears up there quite a bit. So you gotta stay spry. And then, yeah, and then that couple left, and I just kind of went over into that spot, and I got my net, and I was just banging, just hitting them, and literally, yeah, three sockeye a net, just crushing. I looked down at my arm, just covered in mosquitoes, and they had no fear, and I was just like, they were just on me, and I was just killing them, and it was just brutal. And then I had the fish guts everywhere, and I think that didn't help. And then I was like wooded area, so I was just more mosquitoes. So I had my hoodie, so I was like pulling the hoodie down. I had the hoodie up, and I was just And then I switched spots with Joe. And I said, I'm going to take my fish back. I'm going to switch my fish with Joe. He didn't hit anything. I come back. He's like, I haven't gotten a single fish. And then I would start again. Right back at it, dude. I was just like crushing. So so it's the limit, I believe. Yeah, well, it was 25 a piece. Good Lord, people were out snagging. There was boats all over the place. So yeah, what a joy. That's getting to read out is subsistence fishing. You know, I think I would buy a new outboard. Yeah, I mean, I am literally, it was miserable last night. I got up and I found like some random ointments and I was just like, but I am just covered in mosquito bites. It's a little bit better. I think I'm on the back end of it now. But golly. Yeah, my skiff is not working. We used Joe's girlfriend's boat. And I would buy a new outboard. It's not that cheap. But if we could dial it in, if I could fill the freezer with sockeye, 6 deer, I guess that's it. That's all I want. If I could dial, I would have to know that both these are in the game, because then I could basically say, you know, depending on the limit, I think it's 100. I think I can get 100 sockeye this season. It's a lot of fish, and so 100 sockeye, I can get 6 deer, and then live on that and mushrooms round the horn, and then the next year do it again. So, well, we could do moose. You know, they got moose over in like Gustavus. That's big game. That is out of my league. But what have you? No, life is good. Busy. I'm just really freaking busy. It's like work, fix something, garage, fix something, work, right? Things break. Mushrooms are growing like aliens. Boats broken again. Yeah. So I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not sure why. I think, well, I need to get connected with the restaurants in town. I want to stay in the loop. So that's where it out. Mushroom coffee, right? That would be pretty sweet. I wouldn't mind getting into that. Yeah, mushroom coffee, tinctures, supplements. That's kind of like advanced level. But though that would be like something that's an option. Yes. What is it? It's July. I'm glad the holiday's over. Again, I'm taking Wednesday off, so I'll get some work done. Maybe I'll do a live stream on Wednesday. And then I'll be off Friday, Saturday. Joe wants to go fishing again, but I don't know if I don't know what I need to accomplish. Well, we're right there. You know, I feel like I'm on the edge of glory with the mushrooms. Here, I'll turn this in. This might be, let me make some slits in these bags, putting them in the fruiting tent. Starting to run out of steam. I want to finish my popsicle. Let me get some new gloves on. Live streams have been really working out. It's kind of a strange world, but and that's my other, so all right, so if I do my traveling mushroom farm tour segments, that'll be the pitch. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna come down, you're gonna give me a tour of your farm, and then if you ever come up to Alaska, I'll take you on the boat, you know, and then it's like, that'll be like the sell, right? There's mushroom farms everywhere. I think it'd be hilarious. Holy moly. What time is it anyway? It's almost 9 o'clock. Do I have to work tomorrow? I do. So the only thing about rubbing alcohol is that just the vapor is nasty. It's pretty harsh on mushrooms. I've really pretty much gone to like hydrogen peroxide. More so, it's a little bit more not as frightening. All right, so I'm going to bring this over. This is kind of like an infrared heater thing. Probably the most dangerous piece of equipment I got, just because it gets so freaking hot that. But we'll, all right, so I got a little scalpel in there. Another option would be, you know, I heat it with like an alcohol lamp, or, you know, just put like, rub it with alcohol and then use it. You know, when I'm putting gashes into these bags, it's always kind of